Hi and welcome to the WRX in the Shed build. If you're new to the channel, thanks for checking us out. If you're returning, then welcome back. In today's episode, will it start? If you've been around for a while, you know a bit of the history of the car. If you haven't, then I'll put a link here. Yes, I have figured out where the link goes to the playlist. Have a look at some of our previous episodes, and that'll give you some idea about the history of this car. Effectively, the engine hasn't been started for, I think, about 12 to 18 months, maybe a bit longer, and it certainly hasn't been driven in anger and rallied for a good 3, maybe 4 years. I think it was 2016 or 17 the last time it was run. It's actually never been run in this car. And all the wiring loom and everything's all come from another car. I want to get a couple of things out of the way right off the bat. I am going to put fresh oil in it because I think the sump's empty, and change the oil filter. I will replace and put a brand new fuel filter in it and some new fuel lines under the bonnet here just to get it all sorted out. However, I'm not going to put the alternator belt on, the radiator in, or the intercooler on it. Intercooler I'm not putting on because I haven't got a clutch sleigh cylinder and the clutch plumbing sorted for it yet. I've got to get that under control before I do that. And the radiator that came with the car or with the engine was damaged, so it needs a new radiator. However, without those things, the engine will still run, or should run. So please don't put in the comments, oh, you're going to blow the motor up without letting it run with all that stuff on it. It will be fine. I'm only going to run it for 30 seconds to a minute if it'll start, and fingers crossed it does. So let's get into it. This is something that comes up a lot with rally cars, particularly WRXs, is what size exhaust to fit to the car. And common thinking is that you should put a big massive 3-inch drain pipe all the way under the car. The problem with that is, as you can see here, it's been damaged. It's flattened out underneath the car because this is a 3-inch pipe that goes all the way back under the car. And it's not ideal. It was on the old rally car. So generally what we do is use a 3-inch dump pipe off the turbo wide mouth, or a scavenger system which has got the dual pipes on it, and bring that down, and then just somewhere here we drop that to 2.5 inch and use a 2.5 inch exhaust all the way to the back with a hot dog on the back, because for some reason this exhaust has also got a silencer or a resonator in it, which has also been damaged. Right here, the exhaust is hard up against the tail shaft center bearing, so this exhaust is not really a very good fit for this car anyway. Also here, this bracket is not brilliant at all. It's twisting the rubber there. So I think what we'll do is leave that on just to get it fired up, and for the moment, and then before we go and do anything spectacular with this car and start racing it, we will change this exhaust system completely, go to the exhaust shop and get a proper 2.5 inch put on it, which will actually flow the same amount and stop all this damage and nastiness. Otherwise we're going to end up with a broken up pipe at the turbo end. When I got under the car to check the amount of oil in the sump, I just cracked the sump plug and had a look. There was about a litre and a half of oil in there, so well less than what was showing on the stick, but obviously there was some in there. Filter also was just over tightened to the absolute crapper. When you're putting an oil filter on a car, it doesn't matter what type of car, generally they only need to have hand tight, usually 1 or 2 turns, and that's it. So either Thor put this one on the car, or somebody's got a bit too overzealous with it. Anyway, that's done. Also decided to put a alternator belt on it as well. Reason being is I'm going to put some power steering fluid in this, fill this up, and just make sure the pump does work when I get the engine fired up. Also means the alternator will be able to put some charge into the battery. I'm also going to put a very light amount of water, small amount of water in through the bottom radiator hose, just to provide a bit of lubrication to the water pump and seals, even though it's only going to be running for a short time because it's all dried out in there. So get these things done, get the fuel filter, get some oil in it, and should be good to go. Everybody has an opinion on what type of oil to run in these cars. We run this stuff, the Penrite 1060 10 tenths full synthetic oil. It's we actually use this in all of our turbocharged engines across the board, and it works very well. Also, when you're changing the oil on these things, it's worthwhile filling the oil filter up as well before you spin it back on. So I've already done that underneath, and it needs about another 4.5, a little bit more oil in these. A tiny bit of overfilling, so they're right up, just over the full line is okay. Tend to find that these Subaru motors have a reasonable stroke on them, and they do burn a little bit of oil, especially when you start pushing them hard in race and rally sort of situations. So having a tiny bit more oil in the sump is not a bad thing. Better to have a tiny bit more than not enough. Now I'm going to replace the fuel hoses on this as well, because they've all been sitting for a while without any fuel in them, and I'm just not confident that they're going to be very good. So both the pressure and return lines, I will replace them to be on the safe side. Right, that's the fuel system all hooked up. One last thing I like to do with all fuel filters is just put the date on them that they were replaced. Before we try and actually start it, I'm going to just turn it over to get some oil moving around the engine, because it hasn't been started in such a long time, just to try and get a bit of oil pressure up and just make sure everything winds over okay. There shouldn't be any reason why it doesn't. Just be on the safe side. Okay, way better. All right, I'll plug the fuel pump in. I'll just check the prime on the fuel pump, make sure that there's no leaks anywhere, and we'll have a go at trying to start this thing. All right, found one of the main relays missing, so I've plugged that in and we'll see what happens this time. That sounds more encouraging. Okay, I can hear fuel running through the lines. Quick check to make sure nothing's leaking. All right, let's cross some fingers and toes, see if it'll fire. So I'm very happy. Fantastic result to have the engine fire up with no knocks and no rattles. And yes, that was a genuine first startup. I have never even turned this motor over before. I was told the engine ran before it was pulled out of the old rally car. However, I never saw that. So there's always a risk that things will go wrong or it won't fire up. So very happy with that. Now, of course, there's another 100 things on the list to get sorted out before it's all ready to go and before we can even probably tackle the panel work on it. However, it's a good start. Thanks very much for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed that Will It Start, WRX and the shed build. Please give us a thumbs up, like and subscribe. And also click on the notification bell and that'll let you know when we've got new episodes up. And I'll catch you on the next episode. Cheers.